I was born in Santa Barbara, California. I was born in 1936. I have 7 children, 34 or 35 or 36 grandchildren, and I lost track. And I do have 34 great-grandchildren and 3 more, I think 4 more in the basket. Well, it was a long journey, a very long journey. From the time my mama left me with some strangers, and there was many, many difficult years. Even after my foster family, my stepdad's family, taking care of me, many trials, many things from the time I came back, which was about 8 years old, and until I was going to be 17, and they married me off. By the time I was 22, I had my 7 children, and so many difficulties. Too many to really put out there, but I always talk about them. And what overcame my difficult years, that made me put them in a bundle and just put them in back of me and leave them there. And difficulties always hurt. They always hurt. They always touch your heart. And I think that's what makes you want to embrace the gifts that the Creator gives us, and just to kind of hug it a little bit more and embrace it a little bit more, is that I was drinking a lot, and I was out there doing things I shouldn't have done. My young son was 7 years old when going to be 8 when my first husband left us, and so he had just gotten a wonderful job that was going to be more money, more everything, and so I had just moved from one neighborhood to another, and really things looked up. But when the sun shines, there's always darkness comes in, and so he fell in love with someone else and left us, and so it was a very difficult time. And so I had a stalker. And the stalker, he mutilated me and raped me, and so I went through a very hard time with that. And so I had moved because he threatened to kill my young son, and so I moved to an apartment. So while I was there, he broke the door, and that's when everything happened. And so I went to a hospital, and I had just started working again when I had left my key in the apartment, and my mother, I was going up the ladder when my mother turned around and said, "Adelina, let's go for dinner." That's when the man that was with her told me she had cancer. So then every day I'd go see her. And finally she was put in the hospital, and finally she got worse and worse, and finally 3 days before she died, I was saying the rosary by the window, and she called me to the bed, and she said, "I made 3 headbands, one for each year that you will learn who Creator is, who God is." And I was still tight Levi's, tank top, and my hair all ratted and everything, and painted up, and was hoping that, you know, whatever happened, happened, so I could take my next drink, because I used to drink a lot. And so, no, you know, so what happened was that I didn't answer her. On the third day, the doctor called me into the office and told me that my mother was going to die. And so he told me she's not going to last the night. So as I walked in the room, she asked me again. I made these 3 headbands out of shells, one for each year, that you will learn who God is, who the Creator is. And so, would you wear them? And I told her yes. And it was the most wonderful thing that I think a daughter could receive. And so I went to look for the headbands. I went to go look for that little box that she had said that she had made these headbands. I went and I got the box and I put the headband on and it didn't fit. And so for 1 full year, I was on a journey. I was in a journey up, and on a journey up where there was one bead, and that represented me, and all the rest of them represented the rest of the people. The first year was the bag of prayers. And so I went to work with my braids, my feathers, and my headband. When I walked in, everybody was just like laughing and saying, okay, you know, she's not gonna last a week like that, you know. And so as the weeks passed by, I had this lady come up to me and she says, what do you have in your bag? I said, my bag of prayers. What do you have in your bag? Nothing. And she asked me, can I put my name there? Oh yeah, go ahead. And before I knew it, there was a lot of people asking, can I put my name on your bag of prayers? And before I knew, I was dreaming them. And I knew exactly what they had. I was wondering, what's happening to me? And then the spirits, they told me to make a hole in the back and to make an altar, and I did. They told me that I didn't have to go to the cemetery to pray to my mother because she was all over. That all I had to do was make a cross and I could pray anywhere, anywhere. And in each year I learned something. And the second year was the year of the urn, where I learned that not all herbs were for me. That because God, the Creator, was going to take care of the people, not me. But there were certain herbs that I would be able to carry. And I had to make everything part of me, part of me. I had to hold the urn. I had to touch it. I had to sleep with it. When I used to take a bath, I used to hold it, and I used to wash with one hand or pray, you know, it had to be part of me. It was part of me. So then it came the third year. In the third year, I learned to walk with a staff, to be proud of who I was, to be proud to the Creator and to the ancestors, and to be silent with my staff. And so at the end of the year, the spirits came to me, and the ancestors, and they told me to go to the mountain. And I went to the mountain, and they told me, you bury your headbands, and you leave your staff and your urn here in the mountain. And you go down the mountain, and you will forget everything that you have learned. Everything will be erased, and you will be the woman that you were. But if you go down with all your secrets, you will follow everything we've taught you. The journey goes into my elder here. When I first came back, it was in the 70s to the reservation. And It was 1983 when I decided to stay. And I came. But the journey wasn't over yet. For it's the hardest thing to go back to your people. For they do not understand you. Especially when you're speaking a different language that the Creator has given you. And your songs and your prayers. And you're not the person you were, but you're the person that the Creator wanted you to be. Came back with my headband, came back with my dreams. Many, many trials. They didn't want me here. But I stayed. I would walk the mountains and I would say, Lord, Creator, let me go. My people don't want me here. And I'd hear that voice telling me in the wind, you need to stay. You need to stay. And so I stayed. Finally, not that they really accepted me, but something happened. And I had walked my talk with them. As I walked my talk, something tragic happened, and the council called me and asked me if I would be the spiritual leader of the tribe. And I said yes. They told me not to speak about certain people. And I looked at my council and I said, I only obey what the Creator tells me. I don't need to be the spiritual leader of the tribe. I'm going home. And at that time, my chairman came and he knocked on my door and he said, we need you. We need you to be the spiritual leader of the tribe. And since 1994, I've been the spiritual leader of the tribe. I try to serve my people well. During the time of the bag of prayers and the urn and the staff, when they asked me to bury everything and leave it there on the mountain, I loved this place. It was so peaceful. Of hearing, of dreaming, of knowing that I didn't have to go inside a church. I didn't have to go inside a building. That I knew the Creator that created the earth would walk with me if I believed. When I came down, I walked down the mountain so proud because I was free. Free from the little girl that was tied to a tree and raped every single day. I was free from being the woman that when I got my first job, I was raped and left there like I was nothing. I was free from everything that ever happened to my body. I was free because the grandfather, the Creator, the maker of this earth, set me free. And so I know that the Creator speaks to me, to everything that is on the earth, speaks through me, with me, and walks with me. And every single leaf, every single tree, every single herb, every single plant. And my ancestors, through the clouds, they make forms that I can see. I can see them. I come from the Bear Clan, and the Bear Clan, and the bear speaks to me. I am the caretaker of that ceremony of the bears. I brought it back to our reservation. And they danced it for our people. And then I brought it here. And I brought it here to take it away from the political place, because it needs to be nurtured. It needs to know it's free. My children say, there is a legacy with you, Mother. I don't feel that. I just feel that from the time that we learn that there is the seed, and it travels and it travels, and it has a lot of detours. And when we think we can't get over that, yes, we can. The only thing that takes us there is the old ways of the people, the fire. And that fire will always burn, as long as it burns in every single Indian, in their heart, in their spirit. Our mind can go crazy on us and take us to different directions. But a heart knows love. It just goes to sleep for a while, but it knows love. And that love needs to be nurtured and given. And that's what the fire does for us. That's what our traditions do to us. Brings it back. And when there's hard times, we go to our fire. We go to that tree, to that wood that we put in the fire, and brings all the stories out, and brings all the things that we need to know. Our ancestors, they want us to acknowledge them when they appear in the clouds, when they appear in the sky, in the night, or when the rain drops, and we think, while they're crying for something. The storms come, they're telling us, hey, you know, we're sending you this storm so that you can learn, so you can know that if you ask us, we will be there for you. There is no storm that we can't get over. No tragic thing that comes in our lives that we cannot override. For the Creator, He's with us. He walks with us. So the ancestors, they're out there, and they want to listen to us. Our strongest element is our voice. They want to hear us. They want to see our tears. They want to see that we're still, that they are still around, that we know that they're still around, that we still embrace them with everything. For we are believers on what the ancestors have taught us. We are Indian people. We have warriors. We have our people that we pray to. We have our lodges. We have our circle. We have the 4 directions that teaches us the way it was taught to me. We are Chumash people. We are people of the Western Gate. We are the caretakers of the Western Gate. That's why our pole is black. For we are caretakers of that Western Gate. In the South, they teach us it's the blood of our people, and it's the sight of the children. And we take care of our children. And there is the white, there is the knowledge of their elders that is hidden inside of them. the knowledge that they know and they have in the stories, the ones with the white hair, the ones that carry the wisdom, are wisdom keepers. And then the sun in the east that teaches us to go out in the morning and embrace her and ask her to give us the energy to survive one more day. The beginning of life, the beginning of a new day. And then we honor the earth that's beneath us, where we're going to go back to the earth. And we honor the cloud people and the clouds that roam and the sun. And we honor the moon and the stars all over, for they take care of us. And we honor all that is around us on the earth, for we are part of everything. We are only here for a while. And I am so happy to the ancestors that they showed me this way, that they embraced me, that they loved me enough to give me the gift of life. For without them, I'd be nothing again. I'd be that little girl. But I remember each time that something happened to my body, I would run to the swing and swing as high as I could so that I could touch God. But now I know that He or she has touched me so that I can walk upon the Mother Earth with all the wisdom that they have given to me. Wisdom is not born at birth. They say wisdom is lost. It's not lost. It comes in the wind. It comes all over. It surrounds us. It comes in our dream time. It's in our heart. It's in our blood. But because we walk upon the Mother Earth in a different time, we forgot. But then the tree has a voice, and the wind has a voice. The star people have a voice, and the mountains have a voice. And the earth between us, underneath us, has a voice. And all that is above has a voice. The elements, we are part of that. And I am so happy that they chose me to be able to be a wisdom keeper. For the tears will always come. But that is how rivers are made. The tears of all women in the world. The Creator is good, for He brings everything to us. He might bring us some hard times, but He gives us some good times. And all we have to do is just open ourselves to it. Embrace it.